I have two tables. It might be trial balances from this year or this month and the previous month. It might be product sales, and I want to compare this month versus the previous month, previous year. So in that case here, I have the participant ID, have the participant name, and then I have the favorite color. And I have another table where I have the participant ID, participant name, the favorite vacation spot, and the favorite number, okay, from 1 to 10. And I want to combine that. And you might say, I can do that with VLOOKUP, but imagine if you have more complex tables and you want to combine them. You want to compare them, or you want to bring data from one table to another. So how can I do that in PowerQuery? It's a question. And this is one, again, I hope it's going to be one of your favorite tools once I demonstrate why you should stop using VLOOKUP, okay? So what we're going to use, we're going to actually load the data in PowerQuery, so we can do the same thing like we did before, get data from file, from workbook, or since these two tables, they are defined as Excel tables, and I said that it's better when you build reports to have your data as an Excel table. Why? Because it's dynamic, it's an entity. If I go here and I type a new name, so I have here Panos, and Panos likes green. So this auto expands, which means any formula you use in traditional Excel, or if you use PowerQuery, it's easier to update and refresh your report using Excel tables. So I have two Excel tables, and this Excel table here, it is, okay. So I say data from table range, having one cell activated, selected one cell in the first table, and what it does on the spot, it loads the table in PowerQuery, okay? And I'm gonna say close and load to, and I say only create a connection because I don't need to reload the data, I already have it in the file, okay? It's a connection only, okay? And I will do the same here. So I say data from table range, and opens PowerQuery and loads the data from that table range, and I have this. So now in PowerQuery, I have two tables, two queries, the favorite colors and the vacay numbers, okay? And I want now to bring and create one table where I'm gonna bring information from one table to another. I could do the same to compare information. And here's the magic. How do I do that, okay? So I can go and actually build up the information on one of the existing tables, or I can create a third table that will be the combination of the two. And that's what I will do in that case. So I go to the Home tab and say merge queries as new. This is very powerful. You cannot imagine what you can do with that. So I have the first and the second. It does matter which table you put at the top and which at the bottom. Now, like in VLOOKUP that I know most of you are using, you have to actually show to PowerQuery one connection point. But in that case, that one connection point might be, it can be more than one, it can be multiple columns from both tables. So I can use ideally you have an ID which is unique. So I click the participant ID here and the participant ID here. If I didn't have that, I can create a combination of columns, and the order that you select the columns you're going to actually compare and match the two tables, it matters. So here it doesn't, we don't need that, okay? So I'm gonna go just with the ID. And now the powerful thing here that of course does not exist in Excel, in traditional Excel, it's that section here. You can join, you can compare in different manners. How? Let's see. You can say left outer, which is what? Okay, to IT. So let's look at the parentheses. All from the first table and the matching from the second. So you might have a master table and you want to bring information and compare with the second table. Or you can say all from the second and then matching from the first. Or you can say all rows from both. Because in many cases, you want to see if someone forgot or to add a record that was existing, and he shouldn't delete it. So in the most common, it's the first, the left outer. All from the first, that's why it matters which one you're gonna select as a master table, and the matching from the second. And already you see that PowerQuery has done the check, and it matched all the rows, because it happens that we have all participants in both tables. And then I click OK. And if you are not impressed so far by what the powerful, this functionality of the merging of tables, see what we can do here. It loads a new column, which this new column contains all the information from the second table that we matched based on the participant ID. And if I go in this icon up here and I click on that, I can expand and select what I want to bring from the second table. So imagine in VLOOKUP, you had to do that multiple times if you wanted to bring multiple columns. Here I can bring the whole table, the second table, and combine it with the first. So I don't want to bring the ID because I already have it, or the participant name, but I want to bring the favorite vacation and the favorite number. And I don't want to use the original column name, which would be vacay numbers, but in some cases you might want to do it. And I just press OK, and what happens? It's just bringing the information, and that's it. Let's go back, let's close and load. Now I will let it load as a new table. And here I have my combined information. So this is a result, and this is, this should not be here. Okay, and this is a source. Let's put it here. And let's look what will happen if I add here. I have Dimitris. Let's see what happens. Save. And I just do refresh. I don't need to do anything else. So Dimitris comes here, but he's here with no information because it doesn't find information. But what I can do, so this is, let's say staff info. What I can do, I can duplicate, or I can reference that query, which is just, link that query and say, I create an audit. That's very common. Clients love it when I do it in different occasions. So HR reporting, sales reporting, finance reporting. So audit for missing data. What I'm going to do here, I say filter and bring me just the null. So now I have an extra table that will load and say that Dimitris is missing from your source. So it's like a flag, but I don't need to look. So I have, like in this last project I am working, I have a list of 1,000 employees, and sometimes a lot of information that goes into the data, it's manual, and people forget to fill in all the details. So how do I check it? I go like looking at each row, I run different functions in Excel. No, you just do that. And it's filtered, and I have this. And that's, the death of VLOOKUP or XLOOKUP, if you want my opinion. I don't know what you think. If you have a different, you have seen it already. I no longer use VLOOKUP. It's safer. Why it's safer? Because this is automated. It reads from the source data. And the step here, which is, take it, combine it, expand, and give me the data, again, it's automated. It doesn't matter if I bring 1,000 new clients and new staff members here and here. I have my audit to see if someone is missing, and the merging and bringing of the new columns is done automatically. I just click refresh, boom, you have the data.